Hello, wonderful beings. Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, episode number 90. So, for anyone who is joining us for the very first time, this is our Wheel of Wisdom. And this wheel contains the name of 31 books that have been selected out of the many books that I've read so far in the past 8 years. And before we even dive into this wheel, I would like you to, think about, is there anything specific in your life regarding which you would like some guidance? So, is there a specific issue that you would like guidance on, or a specific area of your life in which you would like to grow, or you would like some clarity or direction? So, take a moment to bring that to the forefront of your mind. And if there is nothing specific, then you can just set an intention that may I be open to receive some general guidance for today. So once you guys have thought of something, you can let me know by pressing the hearts and then we can spin the wheel. Okay, we have someone who have thought of something good. Okay, so we have enough hearts. Wonderful. So let's spin. So, again, if you thought of anything specific, bring that to the forefront of your mind, okay, as we spin this wheel. Oh, such a beautiful title. Okay. I think this book has only came up twice in the 90 lives that we have done so far. And the name of the book is How to Love by Thich Nhat Hanh. So Thich Nhat Hanh has this whole series of these mini books named as How to Laugh, How to Sit, How to Walk, How to Rest. So, yeah, pretty interesting and simple titles, but wonderful practices within them. So, in a moment from now, what I'm going to do is I am going to give you guys, certain page numbers, and I would like you guys to choose between those page numbers. Okay, so like choose a number that is coming up for you based on your intuition. And I don't want you guys to rush at all. Instead, I want you guys to take your time and see which number comes up. Because the criteria is not choosing the number at the top, but instead choosing the number that I feel called to, at random. That my intuition says that, yeah, go for this one. So choose a number between 11 to 112. Okay, thank you, Amelia, Christian. Uh-huh. Okay, auspicious number Christian has chosen for all of us. Thank you, Moonlight. Okay, so let's see which number do I feel called to among these? And then we can do a reading. Hmm. Okay, so the number, okay, before I reveal that, for anyone who is joining for the very first time, it doesn't matter whose number I choose, you know. because you are here, so you were meant to receive that message. And anyone can be a source of that wisdom. So the number that I am feeling called to is 12, and the number has been chosen by Moonlight for all of us. Thank you, Moonlight. And what a beautiful name. I love watching the moon. Although that's not why I choose the number, but yeah. Okay. So the subheading is Love is Organic. The author says love is a living, breathing thing. Let me just show you the picture also that goes with it. Then it would make more sense. Okay, so imagine a tree as I'm reading this. Love is a living, breathing thing. There is no need to force it to grow in a particular direction. If we start by being easy and gentle with ourselves, we will find it just there inside of us, solid and healing. So, this can be applied to whether it is about loving someone else or loving ourselves. Like, so, like we cannot, or if we force a plant or a tree growing, like to be grown in a certain direction, I feel like it kind of loses its magic or beauty. Because have you seen like those kind of trees that are like going everywhere, like they have these branches and then they turn here and then here and then here, and they are beautiful and they are just so, I don't know, mysterious or magical, like in maybe you have seen these kind of trees and maybe like fantasy kind of movies, or when we let the nature just flourish, and when we are not doing like gardening or agriculture, but we let the forest grow on its own, and it has all these beautiful white flowers, and we might think of them as less in certain ways, but when it grows, when the nature takes on its own ways to grow and to express itself, it brings up so much beauty at some other different level. So it brings, okay, bringing back to the idea of love. um, yeah, so again, if we are about like loving someone else, then we don't want, like, it's not about changing that, it's not about forcing love, that we want love from them or we want them to be a certain way to be loved. So all of that is coming up for me as I'm reading. And also in terms of ourselves, as the author says that if we start by being easy and gentle with ourselves, because sometimes when we say this idea of self-love, you know people are like, okay, it means that I adore myself and I cannot think anything that I lack anything, or there is anything I need to change anything. So self-love seems like a very elevated kind of state, but it can just start with being just being a little bit gentle with ourselves, even when we are pointing out the things that we need to change or that we need to grow within ourselves. It doesn't mean that denying and thinking of ourselves as the most amazing person. That goes with like high self-esteem. And sometimes we know if we are in the presence of kind of person who thinks of themselves as the king or a queen of certain place, you know, then it might feel like we lose the connection in a way with that person. So, it's about like if we are talking about loving ourselves, then it can start with in gentler ways that, okay, this is something that I might need improvement in, or I might need to work upon. And just pointing it gently, not saying that, oh, you are such a loser, you are not good at this, and you would never be good at this, you would always be a failure, and stuff like that. So we can just start, our journey towards self love by, a small kind word, by a kind gesture towards ourselves. We don't need to think of it that self love means this, and just, force our idea of self love in that direction. So yeah, just finding our own way, when I think of nature, it's like reminding us to find our own way to express ourselves, express whatever wants to come through us in our own way, not in a particular strict organized direction that someone has told is the right way, you know because maybe like with this example, that is coming up, like gardening might seem like, okay, I have this organized section for herbs, this organized section for flowers, but imagine all of it like growing in the wild, and that is also beautiful, and the organized way is also beautiful. So we need to find our own way, find our own way. So I hope that that is something, at least I'm going to carry that little four words, that find your own way, from this reading. And feel free to express what comes up as I read this, or as I was expressing my own, whatever was coming up for me. Christian says, very true. Love is all around us, it exists everywhere in the universe. We breathe in love, we do, and exhale it to the world. That's also we do. As our heart opens, beautiful words. I am glad that this resonated with you, and I love how you put that. That we breathe in love and we also give it. And that keeps the balance in a way. So yeah, maybe when for the rest of the day, if you have any moment when you feel like maybe nobody loves you, or you just feel low, maybe just breathe in love and imagine or remind yourself that love is actually around you. It truly is. Everything around you, is a very potent reminder that the universe loves you. And in fact, I do have like a free track on this, a free meditation for this, feeling held and supported by the universe. So, yeah, I would, if you want to experience that, I would, encourage you to check it out. And it is like a free meditation, so you can access it. Anyone. Okay. So it's time to move on to the next reading for today. Hmm. Okay, let's see. Again, for those of you who have just joined us, hi Silverback, nice to see you here again. Yeah, so I was saying, for those of you who has just joined us, take a moment to bring to your mind if there is anything specific in your life regarding which you would like some guidance. And if not, then just set a general intention that may I be open to receive some guidance for today. Okay? So, with that in your mind, we are going to spin this wheel. Okay, this is, I don't know, this is some kind of like, um, I don't know, magic happening or something. Because those of you who have been to my previous like 3 or 4 lives, this book has came up so many times. So it seems like, yeah, there is a lot that we haven't, gone through from this book. And mind it, like there are 31 books here. And still this book has popped up in 4 out of my last 5 lives for some reason. Okay. Huh. Um, so let's see what wants to come through from this book. The name of the book is Out of Your Mind, and the book has been written by Alan Watts. So, for this book, I have these notes of mine that I made. Like, I kind of highlighted the insightful paragraphs or transformative practices from these books. So, what I'm going to do what I'm going to do now is that I am going to tune into my intuition this time. And I'm going to close my eyes, scroll through the pages of the book until I feel like this is the section I need to stop, you know. This is something that you all need to hear, that we all need to hear, including the ones who would like watch the recordings as well. So, yeah, you know, let's see what wants to come through and touch our hearts. Okay, let's see what came up. So, the author says, since you are reading this or since you are listening to this and engaging in some sort of inquiry, I assume that you are in the process of waking up, or maybe you are just teasing yourself with some kind of flirtation with waking up, which you are not serious about. Or maybe you are not serious, but you are sincere. You are ready to wake up. If that's the case, if you really are on the path of waking up, of finding out who you truly are, then you will meet a character called the Guru. To the Hindus, the Guru is the teacher, the awakener. It's the Guru's job to look you in the eye and say, oh, come off it. I, d- I know who you really are. In the dramatic myth, life as we experience it is a big act, and behind the big act is the player, and the player is the self. That's you. Once you are playing, only you are playing hide and seek, but you won't admit it because you have because you have deliberately forgotten who you really are, which is the foundation of the universe or the ground of being, as 20th century theologian Paul Tillich calls it. Okay. So, in summary, this all is a drama that we have created because we are playing hide and seek with us, meaning we have hidden our true self, the infinite, the I'm forgetting the words, but the essence, everything that is that, and we have forgotten it because we want to experience it again. We want to experience ourselves. And for that, we created this whole drama. And we are hiding from ourselves. And we say that we are seeking liberation, we are seeking self transcendence. And let me go to, something else that came up as I was reading this. Yeah. And why we did so, again, as I mentioned, is to experience ourselves, is to experience our true nature, experience the love and the fear, experience the all powerfulness and the helplessness, all the different kind of experience, because God is not just, or the universe, or whoever you call it, the source is not just love. It is everything that is. It is also the fears and the shadows. It is everything. And all there is that. And in the absence, in the absence of what you are not, what you are is not. Meaning, in the absence of the darkness, what you are, for example, light, is not. There is no concept, there is no understanding of light unless there is darkness. So sometimes we wonder that why there is so much pain, why there is so much suffering, why there is so much sadness. Because in the absence of what you are not, what you are is not. So in order to experience all the different, extremes, we needed we needed all those, the opposites, and we needed to experience all of that to see how amazing and wonderful and blissful and whatever word that can come to your mind is, you. Let's see some comments. Christian says the journey to find the truth of who you are is everything. Exactly, it's not like a journey in our life, when we are reaching towards a certain goal. It's like, okay, I love, drawing a parallel between this, whatever it is, this life, and play, So we don't play just to end, just to be done with it, you know. We play it so that we can experience everything about it. We go into a game not just to win it or to lose The end is not as important as the middle part, as the journey. And that is why, it's not that we all are rushing to win the race of life whose end point is death, We're here to experience that journey of life. And that's where everything is. And in this journey, again, the end or the goal is not important. Because, for example, in the end, maybe you reach that goal and you realize who you are. But then you would again want to play this game of hide and seek, because now that you have realized it, you are one with it. You know, you are like, okay, what now? Because you are one with it. You cannot experience yourself. So you are again like, okay, let's play hide and seek. Let's go into the drama again, Just like you play a picture so that you experience that, so that you get to be in it. You are not watching a movie for the end. You're watching a movie to experience it fully, and to experience what is already within you, the tears and the happiness and the whatever it is that a movie triggers within you, the excitement, the thrill, and everything. All of it is happening inside of you. It is already within you. We just watch it so that we can experience it again. So yeah, that is something that came up for me as I was reading this. And okay, there's one more comment before we move on to the next reading. So Christian says our ego gets in the way of our truth. In my opinion, it is essential to drop the ego, drop the act, and lean into our core beliefs without false pretense, just our natural, humble state. Mhm. Yeah, so I have, okay, I have something to add. Again, my take, not, not the truth. which is how we need to function in our life, to not rigidly hold on to any opinion or any idea. And it is okay to have, to believe something for a certain period of time, but if it is, serving you. And that's why, I completely agree. We need to, see past our ego, or and the word past our separate self, that sense of separateness with everyone else, that this is me and this is you. This is me and this is Christian. This is me and this is, whoever else is present. So once we drop this idea of separate self, or this false pretense, and we even connect for a very single moment with the unity or connectedness or interconnectedness, there is a different feeling to it. And it is not just here, because I believe that these concepts are just for us to better, explain it, because the kind of understanding that comes from experiencing it is a whole other level different. And we did an exercise, I think, in the last to last live, where we did experience, where we did get to connect with that oneness rather than that separate self that we are, where we really get to look and see the things that are not separate or that are not individual, but one. And yeah, it was a wonderful, like, experiential exercise, and I love the experience part. And the second thing is, yeah, leaning into our core beliefs. So I believe that those core beliefs, from whatever I know, that the core beliefs are also learned. They are not our, even we say that they are core beliefs, but they are not at the core of who we truly are. They are the core of our separate identity, or they are the core of our ego or separate identity, but not who we truly are, because there are no beliefs. There is simply knowing when we are connected with that. So whether your core belief is that I'm a wonderful person, or whether your core belief is I am not good enough, those are just stories, those are just beliefs that you learned in one or another way, you know. So, so I think for anyone who is joining for the very first time, I think I have two resources that comes to my mind that I already have created on this platform, which you can check out if you are interested. The first resource is to get to identify the core of your separate self, as we are calling it now, based on Christian's comment, you know. So we get to experience what we believe about ourselves. What is the story that we have, created a whole identity and a whole life around it. So if you would like to, shine a light of awareness on those hidden beliefs hidden in your subconscious, then this is the course for you, because I've tried to include all the techniques that I knew of into this one course, so that you get to identify your core beliefs, so that you get to identify especially the limiting beliefs, because the healthy ones are fine. They are helping you go through the life. And if you want to go into spirituality and connect with your real self, then there is another way. Um, Christian says, beautifully articulated. Emily says, in there are no beliefs, only knowing. Dang, Anisha, you are taking us deep today. I am taking myself deep today. I was like, okay, Anisha, where did that come from? And that's why I do this, because I do not believe that, some of the most inspirational ideas are a result of this. But it seems like someone is dropping them in my mind. And that's why I am doing this wheel of wisdom, thing. So that we get to connect and tap into the ideas that were dropped into the mind of the wonderful, amazing authors, of these books that we go through. So yeah, thank you. And I'm excited where that energy is going to take us today. Okay. Yes, I was saying two resources. So the first one is this, to identify what those beliefs are. Because If you have limiting beliefs, then just being aware of them, you can just call the story out. So when you notice, when you first of all have a list of like, these are my common beliefs, and you find yourself in a situation, in a triggering situation where these beliefs are getting triggered, then you don't need to plaster it with a positive thinking. That is one approach and that might work. But if we are going really deep, and if we are keeping it really simple also, then the way to go is simply call the story out that, okay, this is my not good enough story, this is my not worthy story, this is my not lovable story. So just call it out, and then it's like the illusion dissolves. When you see that it is an illusion, when you see that it is a story, it loses some of its power over you. And then we go into like other techniques. If it has a very strong hold on you, if you are really in the movie. For example, I love this. Okay, so I love this movie. I think it is True Man. And yeah, and it just captures this whole thing at how we are in a story. So there is this movie True Man. I don't know on which platform or it is on, but yeah, I once saw that movie and I was like, whoa, this was a clear depiction of what you know spirituality might be trying to tell us. So yeah, if you haven't seen that one, and if you like what we're talking about, I think you will like it. Yeah, it is not as exciting. It is like quite bland, but the realization is like, whoa. So if you like that kind of movies. Okay, and the second resource that I was sharing, that if you would like to, once you have understood your beliefs and once you start calling them out, if you also would like to connect with the real self, dive deeper into who you are, then I have this track for you where we take a exploration together. Like, I don't tell you who you are. I can't. But we go on a journey together to explore who are you? Who am I? Just diving into that question and sitting with it. And yeah, so I take you through guidance of whatever level that I can, and then rest happens on its own. So yeah, so if you would be interested, you can save this track as well. And now we are going to move on to the next reading. And before that, I'm going to take a sip. And if you guys are enjoying this live, if you are getting any value out of this, and if you feel called to support me, then you can do so by making a small donation, because it helps me keep the space alive. It helps me keep going, although I love to do this. But yeah, we all can benefit from some support. So yeah, it helps me continue these lives and my other offerings and stuff. So only if you are able to, there is no pressure at all. Okay. So let's open the wheel. And this is going to be, I think, the last reading for today. Oh, Emilia, thank you so much for this generous gift. I'm really so touched that something from this live really sink in. And I hope that it stays with you and it keep on affecting your life in so many beautiful and unexpected ways, bringing you more of that experience, that wonderful experience. And I'm grateful really that because this supports me, keep really, keep on showing up with that love and do whatever brings me joy so that I can share that very same thing with others. So yeah, thank you. Okay. So, time for the last reading. Hmm. So, again, bringing to your mind anything that you need guidance on today. And it's been, oh my God. This is the first time that this book came up. I think this is a recently added book because I just read it, I think, in the last month or last to last month. I don't remember. And goes perfectly with what we are covering today. So, the name of the book is Conversations with God. That's what it is feeling like today for me, like there is a presence. So, the name of the book is Conversations with God, an Uncommon Dialogue. And the book has been written by Neil Donald Walsh. So, let's see what this amazing book have for us. Give me a second to open the book. I'm quite excited today what is going to come through this book. This is like the first time ever that this book came up. Okay. Hmm. Um, okay. So I again no need to rush, but I invite you guys to choose a number between 40 to 192. Here you go. It's like I'm having these butterflies within me. I'm so excited for some reason. Let's see what is going to come through really now. Hmm. I'm curious. Thank you, sister. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Patsy. Hmm. Thank you, Neeta. Thank you, Johnny. Okay. Okay, let's see which number am I feeling called to. Thank you, Moonlight. Okay. So before I share the number, again, whoever number I choose, it doesn't matter, because you all are here. So you were meant to receive that message, whatever message is going to come through. And anyone can be the source. And this time, the source for all of us is Patsy. So the number that I'm feeling called to is 42. Thank you, Patsy, for choosing that number for all of us. Okay, let's see what is on page number 42. Okay, such an alignment. Okay. So whatever we were discussing, it seems like a more continued discussion to that. So the author asks God, um, so the backstory is that the author, was like literally at a very low point in his life. And it was, I think, 4 in the morning or 2 in the morning. And he wake up and he took the yellow pages and he asked, like he wrote, everything that was going on in his mind, and he asked God, why, God, why, and then he heard a voice, and that voice introduced itself as God. So the author asked, are you saying that all the bad things that happen to us are things of our own choosing? Do you mean that even the world's calamities and disasters are at some level created by us so that we can experience the opposite of who we are? And if so, isn't there some less painful way? Some less painful way to, less painful to ourselves and others, to create opportunities for us to experience ourselves. Hmm. So, the God says, you have asked several questions and they are all good ones. Let's take them one at a time. No, not all the things which you call bad, which happen to you, are of your own choosing, not in the conscious sense which you mean. They are all your own creation. You are always in the process of creating. Every moment, every minute, every day. Namaste, Sumit. Join in on the reading. We are doing the last, reading from the book Conversations with God. So I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, continuing. So you are always in the process of creating. How you can create, we will go into later. But for now, just take my word for it. You are a big creation machine, and you are turning out a new manifestation literally as fast as you can think. So, just to add, because the author says I will mention that later as to how we create. So we create in terms of our thought. So what we think, what we speak, and how we act create, you know, something in the world. So events, occurrences, conditions, circumstances, all are created out of consciousness. Individual consciousness is powerful enough. You can imagine what kind of creative energy is unleashed whenever two or more are gathered in my name. And mass consciousness. Why that is so powerful? It can create events and circumstances of worldwide import and planetary consequences. It would not be accurate to say, not in the way you mean it, that you are choosing these consequences, like disaster, You are not choosing them any more than I am choosing them. Again, you are not choosing them any more than I am choosing them. So neither the God decides our fate, nor we individually decides, what circumstances are going to happen. Like me, you are observing them and deciding who you are with regard to them, because that's what we are here for, to experience ourselves. So we decide who we are with regard to them, whether we are like a helpless person, a very small person, or whether we feel called to help and reach out, and whether we are an empowering person and a kind person. So whatever happens, we decide who we are in relation to whatever is happening. Yet there are no victims in the world and no villains, and neither are you a victim of the choices of others. So this help us get out of that victim mindset, which actually do not help us move anywhere. It keeps us stuck, that we are the victim because we don't have any power, hence we cannot act. So the author here reminds us that we are not a victim and nor the villain, nor the villains. And also, we are not a victim of the choices of others because we said that there is a collective consciousness, right? So you might be like, okay, they created that, right? And I am the victim of that. So at some level, you have all created that which you say you detest. And having created it, you have chosen it. This is an advanced level of thinking, and it is one which all the masters reach sooner or later. For it is only when they can accept responsibility for all of it that they can achieve the power to change part of it. Again, for it is only when they can accept responsibility for all of it they can achieve the power to change part of it. Okay, there's a comment. So, what is coming up for Christian is we have triumphs and tragedies, but our faith allows us to handle all outcomes. Each moment is guided by our spirit. The spirit allows us to find a way through the hardships or successes. Ultimately, we ask the divine for guidance through it all until we accept every event as neither good nor bad, but inevitable. Yeah, I love that feeling of trust, of faith, and acceptance for whatever is happening. And also equanimity, that not getting stuck in the labels of like whether this is a good thing or whether this is a bad thing. And that equanimity part, we touched upon it in one of the previous lives when we went into that old Tibetan story about where a man says whenever something happens and the people start reacting that this is a good thing or this is a bad thing, the man says maybe yes, maybe no, because we never know what, to what blessing a challenge might take to. So, yeah, I think this last line, it goes like on and on, but this last line, again, I'm going to repeat that if it is not settling with any one of you again. For it is only when they can accept responsibility for all of it they can achieve the power to change part of it. And that's what happens when we take responsibility. It is not about, I love the breakdown of this word. I don't know where it came from, but it stayed with me. Responsibility is not like taking on the blame that I created it, maybe at some other level. It means, having the ability to respond. And that's what comes when we take responsibility, when we think that, okay, this is happening. And sometimes in certain situation, you do have a part in that. Maybe you are in a conflict with your partner and you are like, okay, but he is the one or she is the one to blame. She is wrong, he is wrong. But when we really reflect on that situation, you would find that there is a tiny bit part maybe that you also played in that conflict. So once we, accept the responsibility or accept the situation, then we would have the ability to respond and change a part of it. Maybe because we never have control over the whole of it. And if we think about changing the whole of it, it might feel overwhelming and you would be like, okay, no thanks. So we need to, So we can just focus on the part of it that we can change, that is in our control, and that gives our power back, we would stop feeling helpless and work upon or take actions towards what we can change rather than just be overwhelmed or feel so small instead of such a big problem that is happening in our life. And that can help us get out of that stuckness, that stuckness that your mind has created, that stuckness that you're feeling. So yeah, and no one else. And the good thing is that you are not the victim. No one else has to come and rescue you. You are the one. This kind of thinking brings empowerment. Whether instead of, if we are stuck in that victim mentality and we are just pitting ourselves that, it is so bad that this happens to me. Why does this happens to me always? So it takes us out of that thinking and gives us the power back. It makes us feel empowered to act, to change, to bring the change that you want to see. So yeah, so I hope that something from this whole life, clicked with you and that you carry it with yourself, not just for this, duration of 1 hour or something, but carry it with you in your life. And if you even applied one concept that you learn from these books, from each other, from you, wherever you learn it from, it is going to impact your life rather than just taking all the information in and going with your life as you usually do. Because yeah, there's that quote with Albert Einstein that we keep on doing the same things and we expect different results, and that is not a very intelligent person, right? Christian says, thank you for sharing and being an amazing host. Thank you for your lovely and insightful presence, Christian. And I do have like a gift, that I offer to all the women who has listened and stayed till the end. And I'm also going to mention certain other resources that are there for the men also. But yeah, before I move on to that part, I would, I have certain announcements that I want to make that, especially for the people who are joining us for me for the very first time. So yeah, I'm going to start with the announcements. And I hope that you stay till the end and you grab the gift. Okay, so hi Samya. Samya says hi love. Hi. Even though we're ending today's live, Samya, but you can, access the replays. That's what was my first announcement, that this whole live is getting recorded. So if something clicked with you, if you found something insightful, and if you would just like to re listen to that, or maybe do the meditation again that we did at the start, because it would be really helpful for you if you would like a break, a pause, especially if you are feeling distracted, your energy is scattered, you're feeling restless, and all of that. So the meditation was specific to that. So for whatever reason, if you are interested in, listening to this live again, here is where you can find the replay. So you can go to my profile. Okay, you can go to the about section from here, scroll all the way down, and here at the end you will see a link tree. So when you will click on this link tree, you will see Wheel of Wisdom replay written there like this. Okay. So you can, so it includes like a playlist of all the lives that I have done up until now in this series, Wheel of Wisdom. And this is our 90th live. Yeah, we are soon going to touch 100. Excited for that. Okay, yeah. So, what I have done, why I created a playlist is because there was a reason. I wanted you guys to stay connected or get in touch with, develop a connection with your intuition. So, what I invite you guys to do is that there is an instruction for the playlist, which is once you open the playlist, once you're going through something and you would like some guidance, but I'm not live, just open the playlist, choose a number between 1 to 90. Whatever number comes up, just watch that particular, video, knowing that that message wanted to reach you. And this way you would develop a connection, a trust within your own self or within whatever you believe in. Um, Although it does take like 1 hour for this whole video to be uploaded in my channel because it is like 1 hour, 10 minutes or something video. So if you would like immediate access, you can try another thing, which is, let me share it in the comments, which is you can join my group on Insight Timer. The name of that group is Wonderful Beings. Sorry. Yeah. The name of that group is Wonderful Beings. You can either search it in the search box on Insight Timer, or Samya says, "Oh, I will join. I would love to have you and all of you. Samya says, "Just your presence." Oh, that's so sweet of you. Okay, so you can either search it in the search box or you can find it in my profile. Okay, so it is a public group. All of you can join. So you can go to my profile, scroll down, and by the way, this is the latest track that got released today. So just like we did a meditation in this particular live, we have recorded over 80 meditations so far, and I'm releasing them one by one as a free track on Insight Timer. And so that it is accessible for everyone. So this is the latest one that got released, and it is part of like gratitude and healing for body series. So this is the first one, which is Dear Head, Thank You. So it is like, expressing your appreciation for your head and your brain, different parts of your brain, because we are always like criticizing it. We are always like, if only I don't have these thoughts, I would be so peaceful. But we forget all of the things that our brain does for us. So yeah, offering some appreciation as well as healing. So this is the track. This is what the track is about. Hi Nagraj. Nagraj says, first time here. Thank you for, giving this a chance and tuning in. And I hope that you receive something of value from this live. And I hope to see you back, if you like this live. Okay, so you guys can scroll down to find the group. We were on the group, right? Yeah. So at the bottom, you would see wonderful beings, and this is my little community here where after each live, what I do is that I update a summary in that group, meaning I mention the type of meditation that we did, the let's say the name of the books that we read, the readings that we did, everything, so that you don't miss out on anything. And also, if a new track is released, like the one that got released today, I update that, in the group. Or if I had to cancel a live because of certain reasons. So, yeah, I, inform that as well. So, we get connected and we get connected, updated, and everything. So, yeah, I would love to have you in the group if you are interested joining. And if not, then you can simply follow me, and you will get notified about my new track or the next live. My next live is day after tomorrow. Let me share that here. So you can RSVP. I would love to see all of you in that, in the space again. Um, Frank says, hi from Canada. Hi, Frank. That's so beautiful. My first time here. Welcome. A warm welcome to you. I love the concept of gratitude for your brain meditation. So I am now looking forward to, finding how was your experience of that meditation. So I would be looking forward to that if only you feel called to explore it. Yeah, and we have this whole series. So as I told you, um, so as I mentioned that it is a part of a series. So I put that here as the track. This is gratitude and healing for your body. And I have like a lot of others, playlist, because I try to organize my content in form of playlist so it is easier for you all to navigate. So all the other meditations from the series goes into Wheel of Wisdom meditations. I created a playlist for that. And if we are doing a series like this body series one or a chakra one, so this one is chakra series, balance and heal all your 7 chakras. And all of these series include like free tracks so that it is accessible for you all. Yeah, so I have like all of the series. It is a 21 mindfulness meditation series. I updated this one recently. And the final one, this is self soothing techniques. So it includes like regulation techniques, coping strategies that therapists, share with their clients so that they can feel more centered, regulated if they are feeling, overwhelmed or dysregulated. So yeah, you can check them out as well. Um, okay, so now it's time to reveal the gift. Before that, I'm going to take a sip of water. It's important to take care of ourselves. That was about our first reading, remember? Love. Okay. So, okay, the gift. Yeah, so the gift that I offer to all the women who join my live and stay till the end is a complimentary session with me. So, if you would like a free 1 hour coaching session with me where we can explore whatever it is that you need support with, then all you need to do is simply message me. Okay. So, how you can message me is you can again go to my profile. If you are following me, the follow button becomes a donate button, and above it, three dots appear. Click on the three dots and go to message teacher. Here you can message me that Anisha, I am interested in that complimentary session. You can share where you are from a little bit, or like a little bit, or maybe two, three lines about what you would like to talk about, stuff like that. So yeah, very short text. You can send, yeah, and I would be honored to walk alongside you in that journey and to be able to offer whatever it is I can. And if you're wondering that whether it is worth investing your time or energy in it, then I can assure you of one thing, that if you are going to, you know, be in a session with me, then you're going to leave that session with at least one powerful insight. Because that has happened with every single woman that I've worked with so far. So yeah, I can assure you that much. And and like I only work one on one with women. But if you are not a woman, if you're a man or belong to LGBTQIA plus community, then I have like other resources on my profile that you can check out, So if you like my energy and would like to get, to explore more content from me, then I have like around 7 courses on Insight Timer. Two are related to your negative thoughts, like how you can overcome your negative thoughts, and also identify the common thinking patterns that make people's life miserable, So, according to some therapeutic approaches, there are some identified thinking patterns that do not benefit you. So, yeah, you can explore these. There are 2 courses around that. So one is this one. I'm going to just briefly share one by one very fastly. If you want, you can just save them if you are interested. So this is about the thinking pattern course. And also I give strategies as to how to specifically address that particular, thinking pattern. So yeah, and the next one around thoughts is this one. So it is based on cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and it includes like so it integrates and it's applicable to any negative thoughts. So if you don't want to address each thought separately and just want a whole guide, then I would recommend you this course. And it is include all the different strategies from CBT to help you see, bring some more, logic to our thinking, which it usually lacks especially, for example, if you go into catastrophizing, you are like, okay, now this happened, then this is so bad. Or what if this happened? What if I lose my job? What if this happens? What I get homeless? What if my kids hate me? So just going down the spiral and stuff. So yeah, that's how sometimes our brain is. So you can check this course out. Then the other course I already mentioned that was about limiting beliefs, identifying the beliefs that control your life without you knowing. And we also talk about acceptance today in this particular session. So if you struggle with accepting your situation and if you're resisting it, like it shouldn't be this way, why is it like this? Why I always get stuck in this kind of thing? So on and on and on. So if you're feeling any kind of resistance and if you would like to move forward in your situation rather than just being stuck, then this course might be able to help you. The name of the course is A Therapist's Guide to Accepting Life Difficult Situation. And the last lesson of this course specifically address how you can feel those difficult feelings, not drown in it, okay, not become fused with them, but feel them, allow them space, give them whatever it is that they need, love, compassion, and then see them dissolve on their own. So yeah, it helps you learn a very healthy way to process your emotions. um yeah, and let's see what other courses I have. So three more. Again, very quickly, I'm going to share them. So if you want to bring any kind of change in your life, always the first step is awareness. Awareness of your pattern itself and also awareness of when you are getting triggered. So maybe you know your limiting beliefs, but you keep on going in the same cycle when the thing happens. Those thoughts automatically overpower you. So if you want to develop that kind of awareness, if you want to catch your thoughts, then this might be able to help you learn about mindfulness and the practical ways to apply it both in the meditation room and outside in your real life. And that's the part that I most resonated with in my own life. And yeah, and I say that mindfulness changed my life. And that's why I went on and got a certification as a mindfulness meditation teacher. So that was the reason, because it did change my life. And I hope that it does the same for you. And if you are specifically looking for, like um, including mindfulness in your daily life, or just feeling more alive, connecting with the wonder around you, noticing the beauty of the simple things, then you're going to love this particular course. It is going to help you just see the magic that is already here. Not something that you have to reach, not something that you have to accomplish by doing more, being someone better, fixing yourself, and all of that. It's already here. The peace is already here. And that is something that was the highlight of how mindfulness affected me when I realized that I don't need to run after something, or that no matter what happens in my life, I would have this moment, I would still have peace, I would have a way to connect with the peace no matter what happens. And the final thing that I have to offer is a very mini thing. So it is a 3-day course. It would help you see beyond this belief that I will be happy when I get this, when I do this, I would be fulfilled when this happens. So if you want to move past that and connect with what would bring you satisfaction, then you can try this course. And the follow up of this course is, so I also did a series of lives regarding this particular thing, that how you can feel satisfied in your life, because we rarely do. We are running after one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. So I did like 6 lives on this, and you can access that in the link of in the about section of my profile. So yeah, that's it. So that's the resources that I have. So if any of these resources resonated with you, I would love to hear about your experience of them. And I so appreciate, you staying here till the end and being with me all this while because you guys make the space, whatever it is. So, yeah, I guess this is the end of this particular live. And again, if you enjoy this and if you would like to give back, feel free to make a donation of whatever amount that you feel called to. And if not, or if you can't, then there are other ways to support me. Like you can just listen to my content, you know, because each time I hear about like what is your experience, I feel motivated to create more of those tracks. And that's why I'm doing like more and more of these free tracks. And if you have like a subscription or something, then you can go and check out my premium content because that also is another way to support me. So it isn't always donation. So if you can't, but if you feel called to support me, there are other ways as well. So yeah, and your presence itself is has been a biggest support, and that's why I have, you know, come so far. That's why we are doing this 90th episode. I can't believe it, but yeah, we are doing 90th episode. Okay, so thank you guys for your amazing, beautiful presence, for the insightful interaction today. It really did went really deep today, and I love that. And thank you for all the hearts that came flowing in. They always encourage me to keep on speaking, so it means a lot. Thank you. I bow down to the divine within you all. Namaste. I will see you soon in day after tomorrow, which is our next slide. Till then, take care. Bye bye.